welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Amanda. Today I'm going to be updating you guys on my pregnancy. I am 14 weeks pregnant and technically 3 days, but I think what I'm going to be doing is uploading my pregnancy vlogs weekly up until baby is here, just because I feel like now is going to start coming a lot of different information, and I want these to be also informative as well as not just like about mine, because this is my first pregnancy, so I'm learning a lot. So if you guys are watching this, I'm gonna try to tell you guys everything I've learned in the last week. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, definitely keep watching and definitely subscribe to my channel. I also plan on vlogging more daily life. We are finally moving into a house, which I'm super excited for. Right now we're living in a 1-bedroom apartment that is, I think, like 600 or 700 square feet. It's not very big, and I am honestly so excited to be moving into a house that's like 1,300 square feet, where we have an extra bedroom for guests and for crafts and for stuff, and then also a yard for the dog, and I'm just super excited about that. But anyways, I'm gonna start off with some symptoms that I've noticed, and I have been writing them down on a list. I have weaned myself off of Unisum. I no longer need to take Unisum in order to wake up and feel fine in the morning. Actually, I didn't take it last night. I woke up this morning feeling super productive. I started cleaning, I started organizing, and that is all in the vlog that you guys either see before or after this. I don't know which one will go up first because I'm still technically filming and editing that one. Excuse me. So that might go up after this one, but I'm not quite sure yet. So the first new symptom that I've noticed in this past week has been getting sweaty hands. So I've had really bad sweaty hands, and even if I take them out of whatever, like blanket or pillow or wherever they may be, like, you know, tucked away, they still sweat. Even like open in the air like this, they are still they're actually pretty damp right now. They're not sweating too bad because we're having very nice weather here in Pensacola, so I'm not taking it for granted. The next thing I want to talk a little bit about, and can you please stop? I just cleaned the floors. The next thing I want to talk about is something that actually has been kind of freaky and kind of has made my anxiety on an all-time high. So if you're not aware, and if you're not quite sure of how my first trimester went, I would recommend watching the first trimester recap. I explain everything in that video instead of going and watching each individual 2-week update, because I did it every 2 weeks then. I would watch the recap, and I talk about how I was super sick, and also that I had a cyst on my ovary that was 2.5 centimeters, and that they were keeping an eye on it. Well, I went to the doctor last Monday, so a week ago, and she told me there was no visible signs of cysts, but I was having, like, I don't want to say they're cramps because it's more of like a dull ache. It's more like when I described it to my doctor, which I actually called her this morning again to just be like, I know I'm paranoid, but I'm being super annoying right now, but I just want to make sure that this is something that's normal and it's not something you're concerned about or I should be concerned about, because my anxiety is super high. And she told me it was completely normal, and it is the starting of round ligament pains. So I described it as, it's not like menstrual cramps. She asked me if it was like menstrual cramps where it makes me like want to curl into a ball. That is not how it feels, although the pain does make me want to curl into a ball sometimes. It's not as bad, and it's kind of higher up, so it's kind of like right beneath my belly button, and not where like you normally get cramps. Like if you're a female and you're watching this, obviously you know exactly where you get cramps at and you feel it. This is like a little bit above there, a little bit below the belly button. So she said that that sounds like round ligament pains, or it could just be that the uterus is expanding, which is a combination with round ligament pains. Although I'm not growing outside of my body, like I don't have that big of a belly, or I'm not showing that much, the inside of my uterus is growing a lot. And she also pulled up my ultrasound and said last time baby was maximized in the uterus, so there was definitely need for growth. So that's probably what I'm feeling. So she was like, you probably should be excited that you're feeling those feelings because baby is still growing. So we're super blessed that turned out to be a good thing, and I'm still gonna be paranoid. It's okay. But The next thing that also goes with the uterus is starting to feel back pain. And I hurt my back when I was a teenager on a motorcycle accident, so my back has always been a little wonky. But here recently my back has been starting to, my dog loves to lick the floor. And I just mopped our floor, so I'm like, I just did it. And my apartment will stink if they lick the floors, and they do dog things. So like, I feel like a horrible dog mom thing to say, but like, it's true. But anyways, so the back pain is also accompanied with that. It's not as excruciating, or it's not excruciating. None of the pain is excruciating. That's a horrible word to say. The back pain is not super bad, should I say. It's just more of a discomfort. So that's another thing my doctor said, is before you start to worry or panic, and she said, like, you know, you're always welcome to call me. Is it an ache or a pain, or is it like a cramp and like an unbearable pain? Like, you want to like kind of differentiate the two, because during pregnancy there are going to be aches and cramps and like minor things, but things that are like super uncomfortable and excruciating, you know, that's something that you could be concerned about, or that they would be concerned about. The next thing, which also I used to get this before pregnancy when I lifted weights a lot. That's something that I also have wanted to mention, because I get a lot of people on my Instagram, because I used to post so much fitness content, and you guys know that's like my career choice, that I haven't been filming. Well, I have personally not been going to the gym, and that's for two main reasons. So one reason is that COVID going on with the Navy. The Navy is one of the strictest branches right now with the COVID. Technically, Mauricio's not even supposed to go to like the grocery store or out to eat, or, you know, anything like that. Like, they're super, super strict. So we have just decided to not go to the gym. But the next thing also, and we could, now we can go to the gym on base, but we live so far away from the base. We live almost an hour. But now that we're moving closer, if COVID doesn't let up, then obviously we will go to that gym, because we both want to go back. But another reason is because I was just feeling so nauseous and sick, and honestly, I just wanted to rest and be as comfortable as I could, because you never know with the first trimester. It's one of the scariest times, and I was just so sick that it wasn't a plausible thing to do. I wasn't getting enough nutrients in order to function on a daily basis, let alone go to the gym and try to burn the calories that my body was actually letting me consume. So for that, I did not go to the gym, but it will come back. I do not specialize in like pregnancy workouts or anything like that. Like, it's not something that I have interest in at the moment. It could change if, like, you know, we have multiple kids, or if afterwards, you know, interests change constantly, but that is not something I'm personally interested in. My certain field is opening and owning and operating a gym. I've always liked the business side, the management side of things. So that is more of my thing, as geared towards then personal training, and stuff like that. Although I would love to have as much knowledge, which is why I am a personal trainer, because I feel like that's a must when you own a gym. I feel like you should be knowledgeable on how the body works and how working out should be done properly. But anyways, that will come back on Instagram eventually. But when I worked out, which was trying to get to the main point, I got really bad ganglion cysts in my wrist. So if you've never seen them before, you can Google them. It's just like it looks like a huge pimple on your joint. And I will have really weak knee joints and elbow joints. That's something I've always had. Honestly, it's probably because I don't drink a lot of like milk, and I should probably take a joint supplement pill. It's probably something I should talk to my doctor about. But I woke up the other day, actually I didn't even wake up. We were going to Lowe's to get boxes to move, and my wrist all of a sudden started hurting, as I thought a ganglion cyst was forming. And I was like, what the heck did I do in order to make my joint swell up? Like, the most I did was got excited that I found a little witch that I've been looking for, but like, that's the most I've done as far as like flinging my joints. But I have had excruciating pain in here, and I also have a ganglion cyst forming. It is a smaller one, so you guys really probably wouldn't be able to see it on the camera, but they form right here and they just feel like a huge knot under your skin, and it was super painful. It was radiating to my thumb and down into my like forearm area, and for a while I was like, the whole weekend I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go to primary care physician so they can see what it is and maybe have to refer me to some sort of orthopedic something. But it is going down, so I think that is just pregnancy related. I looked up, and that can be something that the hormones and the changing body go through. So honestly, I just think that's something that pregnancy has sparked. But if it gets worse, I will be looking into going to a primary care physician to get that looked at, and then if I need to be referred out, that would be the best thing. The last thing I have on my list is round ligament pain, but I already talked about that. So that's basically all my updates I have for you guys. As far as if we know the gender of our baby, I know my last title was kind of deceiving, but we do not know the gender of our baby. I will tell you guys right here on October 5th at 1:18 p.m. we do not know the gender of our baby. We did the Natera, I don't know how you say it. It's like N-A-T-R-E-A, I think is how you spell it. We did that gene, or not gene, right? Is it gene? Kind of. So we find out there's a bunch of different things, genetics. I guess it's a genetic test, right? Yeah, genetic test. We find out a bunch of things with that test, not just the gender, but we chose, you don't necessarily have to do that test, but we chose to do that test for the gender and also to rule out anything, or if something does come back, we are educated on it and we're not clueless. We do not have history of any of that stuff, and we're still really young, so it's not a concern of my doctors, but being super careful and just doing that. And also I am doing another genetics test for the spine and something else. I don't know if she said the spine and the brain or the spine, and I don't remember exactly. I will be doing that at my next doctor's appointment, or getting the lab order to do that. That my doctor requires you to get. This specific test we did, my doctor doesn't require, and sometimes insurance doesn't even cover it, but I think our insurance is covering it, so that is why we went ahead and did it. We do not know the gender. When we do, you guys won't know right away because I want to surprise Mauricio. So I'll probably find out first, which you guys will probably see on video. And then I want to surprise Mauricio because telling him that I was pregnant wasn't really a surprise. So I want him to have that. And we can't have a gender reveal party. So at least let him have the surprise. Like, to me, it doesn't matter for me to have a surprise gender, like a gender reveal party. We live so far away from our friends and family, and our family is so antsy to know what the gender of the baby is because they just want to buy stuff, and I'm like, find gender neutral. And honestly, finding gender neutral stuff is harder than what it seems, especially in like everyday stores like Target, Walmart, Carter's, even Once Upon a Child we've been. It's really hard to find gender neutral stuff. A lot of stuff is geared towards one gender nowadays. How people go about having surprise genders blow my mind because I feel like it would just be like so hard to prepare. But anyways, that is the end of today's update. Oh, before I end, the question I had this week that I answered is, how do we find out the baby's gender from the blood? So a male has 2 chromosomes. They have an X and a Y chromosome, and females have X's only. So if there is no trace of the Y chromosome in the mom's blood, then that means that she's having a girl. And then if there is a trace of the Y chromosome in the female, that means that there is a little boy inside of her. So that is kind of how they do that. And then it is also confirmed with ultrasound later on in the pregnancy. But yeah, that is my question that I answered today, or this week, I think. I mentioned it on Instagram too, if you were curious, because I kind of learn new things as a first-time mom. Like, I didn't know that. But anyways, we have not bought anything this week because we're moving, so we're kind of holding off. But anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or recommendations for videos, please leave them down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.